The further the methods that are provided in the HTTP session is you can get when the session has been started, and you can get the last access time, you get maximum inactive interval time, and set maximum inactive interval time. So when you have look at this, get maximum inactive interval time and the set maximum inactive interval time. What it does is, let's say you have logged in, and if you're not interacting with the website, let's say I have set the maximum inactive interval time as 1 minute. And if I'm not interacting with the website for a minute, automatically the system will log you out and you will be redirected to the home page. That is what the set maximum inactive interval time. That is, if you are inactive with the website, and destroying the session, the default time for the and if you are not, and it can be okay. Thus we have already done response and it will send you to the home page. Otherwise, request is started, it will send you to this page. Thank you. Okay, fine. Anyway, like we did not start it, right? This we were doing. Request is started. Get it? Remove the attribute from the session scope, and when you call this invalidate, it will destroy the session object. And HTTP session object, what you have created, the same session object will be accessible to all the web components. So this is one servlet, this is the another servlet, this is the another web component, this is the another web component. So the session object what we are getting is accessible to all the web components. Now, what is the difference between response.send redirect and request dispatcher.forward? Now, when you are going with, this is rd.forward. If you're working with request.forward, what happens is, when you are forwarding the control, it will forward the same request in the response object. Now, in this case, when you're calling response.send redirect, it will destroy the request and response objects of the previous servlet, and when it is redirecting the control, it is treated as a fresh request. That is, it will create, the container will create a request and the response objects. The previous, this one will be destroyed. It will destroy this request and response object, and when the control is forwarded, it will create new request and response object. Whereas in this case, it does not destroy request and response object, it forwards the same request and response object. So this is the difference between response.send redirect and rd.forward. Now next, coming to the cookies, we have already seen yesterday that cookies, it allows the web server to store the information on the client's machine. We have seen that eBay was storing the cart information onto the client website itself, onto the client system. And then cookies are sent in response from the web server. Cookies are sent by the web servers, and cookies are stored in the partition assigned to the web server domain. That is, for each web server, you will have a separate partition wherein it will store the cookies. And all cookies from the web server are sent on every request. And cookies have the lifespan, and they are flushed by the browser at the end of the lifespan. We have already seen this. That is, you can set the time period for the cookies for 1 day lifetime. Now, after 1 day is done, uh, after 24 hours, automatically cookies will be deleted. Or else you can also do that, or else we can also flash the cookies. Now, let us see that. All cookies data. Now, over here, you see the site and then the cookie. Now, let us see what you have. See, it has been created on this time. Oh, what they have set is it will expire on 17 2018. That is, if you are not deleting the cookies, this cookie will be active or this information will be stored on your system for a period of 2 years. Now, let us see what do you have for this. Now, no created, they did not specify any end time. So this is how the cookies work. You can specify the duration of time for which the cookies can be stored on your system. Now, over here, if you see, cookies as we have said, they are sent by the as a response by the web server. So this is the cookie interface. Now it has got various properties, that is, you can specify the name, value, comment, the domain, and the path and the maximum age. And the cookie, it has got a constructor, and this constructor will accept the name and then the value pair. Now over here, as we said, cookies are used to track the session. So when the client is sending the request to the to the web server for the first time, in order to track the client session, what we are doing is, or what the web server does, it sends the cookie. If you observe this J session ID, then okay, you've got this cookie file within your browser. The cookies, they are allotted their separate domain. This is the cookies related to .com. This is the cookies related to soccer.com. These are the cookies related to car.com. This is how the cookies are stored. And now when you are sending the request to the web server for the second time, over here if you observe this cookies properties, they are set by the application. So when you are sending the cookie to the server, sorry, when you are making the request to the server for the second time, automatically it sends all the cookie related to soccer.com. You, we don't have to send the cookies explicitly. It is automatically the system. Your web browser has the capability to send the cookies from your machine to the web server when you are making the request for the second time. If you flash out the cookies, you don't have any option. So this is the complete diagram. Storing the cookie, and this is like retrieving the cookie. First, the server will send the cookie to the client, and those cookies, they are sent onto the client platform. And the next time when this client is making the request to the same website for the second time, the browser automatically will pick up the cookies from the cookie file and it will send along with the request to the server. The typical uses of the cookie is you identifying a user during an e-commerce session. So what we have already done, avoiding username and the password. That is keep me login feature that is implemented with the help of cookies. So if you're selecting keep me login and if you flash out the cookies, then again it will prompt you for the username and password. And then next what you have is focus advertising. Now focus advertising is when you are visiting the website for the first time, if you have observed, if you are visiting the website for the first time, you will get some random advertisement. Then, if in case if you have selected some, let's say I have selected a mobile gadget. Then second time when I'm visiting the website, what the Google does, it will display you all the relevant uh, information with respect to mobiles. That is you will get all the advertisements related to mobile phone what you have selected. So this is what we call it as targeted advertisement. First time, randomly it will display the advertisement. Second time, once the machine learns your browsing habit, it will pick up certain information from your system, and then what it does is you will get all information related to mobile, and then you can customize the site. So all these phenomena we have already observed. Now let us now over here cookie is equal to new cookie. You're creating a new cookie. And when you say response dot add cookie, it will add this cookie to the response object. First cookie C is equal to new cookie, it will create a new cookie. As we said, it is name and the value pair. User as the key and username is whatever has been entered by the mm, client or the customer to the web page. So Tom, and then when the response dot add cookie is executed, it stores this cookie over here. Now cookie 2, the second cookie you're creating, password is equal to Tom. Response dot add cookie, done. So in the response object, you have got two cookies. This is cookie 1 and this one is cookie 2. Now when you're sending the response, when the container sends the response to the client, it sends this also. It sends the cookie information. So cookies are sent along with the response. Now, the reverse process. Now, once the cookie has been stored on your system, and when you are making the request to the web server for the second time, it automatically sends the cookie in the request object. So you've got two cookies, cookie 1 and cookie 2. It is sent. So if you have to retrieve the cookies, you have to retrieve it from the request scope, because if you observe, when the client is making the request to the server for the next time, your browser will automatically send the cookies, and those cookies are present in the request scope. So if you have to retrieve the cookies from the request scope, the method what you need to invoke is request.getCookies. You need to invoke getCookies method on the request object to retrieve all the cookies. So because you will be retrieving more than one cookie, that is why you are taking an array of cookies. So 0 and then 1. So the first cookie will refer to the user is equal to Tom, and the second is pass is equal to Tom. And if I want to retrieve, that is obviously cookies of 0 dot get name will give you user, and C of 0 dot get value will give you Tom. This is done. Now, for the second stuff, if you're doing out.println, C of 1 dot get name will give you password, and C of 1 dot get value will give you this. This is how the cookies work. Do you have any questions? Is cookies concept clear? Can you proceed with the demo, or do you have any? Okay, to Zahid, it is clear. Is it clear, or can you proceed, or do you want me to explain any concept again? It's kindly. Roma, is it clear? I don't receive any response from you. If you have any question, just let me know. Roma and Bhuwana.
Hello?
This is Cookie. Let me just continue. Sometimes what happens is cookies might be disabled. If the cookies are disabled, then you'll not be able to track the session. In that case, what we have is if the cookies are disabled and still if you want to track the session, then we have a concept that is called as URL rewriting. In the URL rewriting, what we do is we will append the session ID to the end of the URL. String URL is equal to response.encode URL fact.do. If the cookies have been disabled and if you are not able to track the client session, what we can do is you can go with the URL rewriting concept. In the URL rewriting concept, you need to make use of the method encode URL of the response interface. So to this encode URL, you are passing this fact.do or some XYZ method. If you're passing this, then JSession ID is appended. Host.file, whatever is the path to the end of the URL, your container will append the JSession ID. That is, you are appending the session ID in the URL itself. So this cannot be disabled by the client. This is yet another way to do that. Oof, what happened?
Uh, hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, in your application, you need to implement both. If cookies are disabled, then the URL rewriting will work. Let's say cookies, you have implemented both cookies as well as URL rewriting. If cookies are disabled, then URL rewriting will work, otherwise no. Or else if you observe some website, it is mandatory if you want to use those website, you have to enable your cookies. If you disable your cookies, then Google itself will not work. You'll not be able to sign in. Facebook, you'll not be able to sign in. eBay and all these are using cookies. If you disable the cookies, the web server will prompt you with a message to enable it. You'll not be able to log in. You can just try that, disable the cookies and try to log into the Google or try to log into eBay or Amazon. These websites, Facebook, these websites, they'll make use of the cookies. They don't work if you disable the cookies.
Hello.
Now let us
Hello.
create a form. Action is equal to login servlet. Method is equal to post, and then input type is equal to text. Name is equal. Value is equal to submit. Now let us create a login servlet. This is a controller. So I'll just give the name as controller. And then servlet, login servlet. We are putting it in the controller package. Add information to the web.xml, and finally you can click finish. So once you have clicked finish, do get or do post will be overriding do post. Now over here you need to retrieve both string user as equal to request.get parameter of user, and then similarly you need to retrieve the password. I'll just copy and paste it. String password. Let me check what does the name I have given to the text field. That is, oh, that is username. So this is password and this one is username. Or Shift F if you want to format. And then now comes cookies. So just give me a minute. Just clean this up. Now, if you have to create the cookies, then it is cookie C1 one cookie for the username and other cookie for password. User. After you have created the cookie, you need to add that cookie to the response object. So response dot add cookie of C1. Now let me create another cookie. Cookie C2 is equal to new cookie. Password. Password. Add the cookie to the response object. Add cookie of C2. Now, after you have done this, you will just redirect it to the other servlet. You will create a dynamic web page, dynamic link, response dot set content type as text slash HTML, write out.println, and then you will redirect it to the another web page. If you click on this, view cookies, done. Okay, I need to create a print writer object. Print writer out is equal to response dot get writer. So this we are done. Now let us test this. So let us remove all the stuff. Done. Now let us execute this. If you have to view the now, let's say Tom and then Tom. Submit. Now let us go to the settings, content settings, all cookies and data. So if you see over here, localhost is the server name. From there, okay, you have got two cookies, that is password, this one, and then the user. Because the cookie has been created on the space, whatever, sorry, on the date, specified date, and the cookies will expire when the browser ends. That is when you are not setting the age. You have to set the age for the cookie. If you don't set the age for the cookie, then the cookies will be expired. That is when you close this browser, then automatically the Chrome will delete this cookies. That is what it means. So name is user Tom, domain is the what do you say, your server name, and ex is the context, and send for any kind of connection, and it is accessible to the JavaScripts, and it's created on so and so date, and it is expired when the browsing session ends. So this is how the cookies are sent. Now over here you have this. When you click on this, you should be able to view those cookies. So you need to create a sublet by name view cookies. If you're getting this exception, requested resource not found, it means either there is some mistake in this URL and the path, or you don't have, or you did not create the resource. In our case, we did not create the resource. Let us create the resource. View sublet. Sorry, view cookies. I click next, click on the add web.information, and then finally when you come over here, let me delete all this stuff. Now view cookies. You need to override because it is a link, you need to override do get. For link, it is always do get. We don't have any option in link. So if you have to retrieve the cookies onto the server side, we said cookies are sent in request object. So you will call request dot get cookies. So the system is sending you two cookies, cookie 0 and cookie 1. Add import. So over here, print writer out is equal to response dot get writer. So once you get access to this response object, you will be printing both the cookies. C0 dot, okay, sorry, it is cookies of 0, the first cookie dot get name, and then you have to retrieve the password. This is for the first cookie, and this one is for the second cookie. If you want to retrieve all the cookies, then you have to put the statement in a loop. Now let us run the application again. New cookies. So user is HHS and password also we have set it as HHH. Oh, sorry. This should be 1 and this should be 1. You click on view cookies. So user and then pass. This is the key, this is the value. Now if you close this browser, scroll down, go to the advanced settings. What is that? Content settings. See, the cookies, the local cookie, sorry, the cookie belonging to the local host website has been deleted by the web browser. So if you want to set the age for the cookies, c1 dot set. Over here you have got comment, domain only for HTTP, maximum age for which path it is secure or not, and then set value and then the set version for the cookies. Set domain you have got, and then HTTP. So now if you see HTTP only, these cookies are not supposed to be exposed to the client side scripting code. That is, these cookies will not be accessible by the JavaScript. And then set maximum age. You can set the maximum age for the cookie, and set path specifies a path for the cookie to which the client should return the cookie. Servlet that set the cookie, for example, slash catalog. So that will make the cookie to visible to all the directories under the catalog. And then okay, you can specify it secure. Should be sent indicates to the browser whether the cookie should only be sent using a secure protocol, such as HTTP or HTTPS. Sorry, HTTPS or SSL. And set value assigns a new value to the cookie. And then you can set the version. So this is the version, cookies version with respect to the protocols. So you will go with C1 dot set maximum age. Mm, let's say 360 days, and then within each day you have got 24 hours, and then each hour is of 60 minutes and each second. So this is how we have to set the value. So your cookie will be alive for a year. Check it, show advanced settings, and then content settings, local host. See, it will be alive for a year. Whereas this one for second cookie, we did not set the time, and for this one, we have set the time. So if you see over here, path is slash spring, sent for any kind of connection, you can specify over here HTTPS or SSL. It is accessible to the JavaScript, yes. If you don't want, you should make it secure. And then the created, and then when it expires. So by default, it will expire on this specified date. But if you want, you click onto the remove button, cookie will be automatically expired.
Hey
So this is
Aditya,
one way of
this is
deleting.
Monica
If
here.
you are not flushing the cookies, then at its expiry date, at that point of time, cookie will be deleted by the browser, not by the server.
Aditya, can you hear
Now,
me?
if you want to delete the cookies from the server side, let's say after the statement has been completed,
Hey
if you want
Aditya,
to
can you hear me?
delete the cookie from the server side, what you can do is response dot set, sorry, let's say I have
Aditya, can you
retrieved
hear
this
me?
cookie and I want to delete this 01
Aditya?
from the browser server side. If you want to delete it, cookies of 0
Aditya, can you hear me?
dot set maximum age as 0.
Uh,
So if you want to delete the cookies from the server side,
Aman, can you
you
hear
have to
me?
set its maximum age to 0. If you're setting it to 0, then the cookie will
Asim,
be deleted from the server side. Client side, you have got the option
Roma,
to
Asim,
remove.
are you able to
If you
hear
clear the
me?
temp folder, cookies will be deleted. But if you want to delete the cookies from the server side, then you have to set this value to 0.
Even they are trying to call she's that here.
The last option what we have is URL rewriting. That is, if the cookies are disabled, then you can go with the URL rewriting. In this case, it will append the JSession ID. So you go over here. So if you see over here, this is one of the URL what you have. So you need to encode this string URL is equal to response.encode URL. So this one you should take redirect URL view cookies. Here your URL will be encoded. So you need to write. But URL rewriting will work if and only if the cookies are disabled. Hello. Okay, let me check it. Yeah, volume is high only. Okay, okay, let me check. I'm able to. Volume is set. Ah, yeah. I did not observe the chat window. Okay.
Atika, can you hear me now? No, Atika, you're not hearing me there as well yet.
Okay, wait. Let me check this. Hello. Hello, am I audible?
You are. Can you hear us? We are able to hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay. Just hold on for a second. Speakers. Okay. No. No, over here, this no, configuration setting issue, I guess. Mm-hmm. Correctly is listed speakers. Yes, I think so. It is issue at my end, no, not at their end. I'm unable to hear the sound from speakers. Okay, anything which you would like to communicate? Yeah, it is from my end. I think I have to log in and log out. Hmm.
Roma, Bhuvana, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. This is
Okay.
Bona.
Roma, can you hear me?
I'll just sign in and sign out so that this problem is rectified. For a second, I'll sign in and sign
Okay,
out.
so
Because
everybody
I'm
will log
unable
out
to
and
hear
log in
you.
again so that there's no problem.
I did not observe the chat window. So there were a lot of messages. So let me just sign in and sign out.
Yeah, people are trying to reach you loudly though. Okay. So